Dear Evan Hansen would be so much better with the Shark Mafia. Like, everything would.
Just Frozen the Musical, throw in a Shark Mafia.
Yeah,
Bada bing, bada
there you
boom.
go.
In a world full of musicals, some good, some not so good, I have decided to rank a whole bunch of them. Just cause, I don't know, I like musicals. They bring joy into my life. I've adored musicals since I was a kid, and I think it's high time that I finally sit down and really try to organize my thoughts on them. But I can't do it alone. No, I need the help of someone skilled in the art of ranking things. Someone who also loves musicals. Someone who, quite frankly, is much better at reviewing and summarizing their thoughts than I am. That someone could only be the one and only Schaffrillas Productions. It's James.
What's up, everyone? I'm Schaffrillas Productions. I love musicals so much. Oh my god, I could die happy if I talk about them forever, which I already do, so yay.
Hell yeah. I'm sure some of these are going to be easy rankings and others we might have to debate a little, so we'll see how smoothly this goes. The first musical on our ranking is going to be West Side Story.
Nice. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but pretty banger musical, I'd say.
I have a soft spot for West Side Story.
It's got like great songs, just like a compelling like central story. Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards like A tier.
Same. You've got the Jets and the Sharks snapping their fingers at each other. Maria and Somewhere are probably my favorite songs. What's really cool that I learned through my music theory classes are they use what's called a tritone interval in a lot of the songs. It's nicknamed the devil's interval for a reason. That creates that very dissonant, haunting feeling that almost foreshadows a lot of the tragedy that happens later.
Yeah, definitely.
So this next one, I don't know if you've seen Amelie.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that.
It initially was a movie, but they turned it into a musical. Honestly, I wasn't super impressed by it. Maybe just because I'm more fond of the movie. It felt like something that really didn't need to turn into a musical, and it wasn't like a super memorable musical in my opinion. A lot of the charm from the movie was lost to the musical adaptation, I think. The little things from the color palette to the environment, the props, the sounds, what really gave the movie a life of its own. It's missing, and Amelie's character feels more hollow than how you see her in the film as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. To be fair, that describes a lot of like movie to musical adaptations. They don't need to exist, and they're just kind of whatever.
Very true. So I'm gonna put this one in C tier.
Sounds good. I have no input because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you disagree, take it out with me, not James. He's just here for the ride. All right, next up we have Spamalot.
Ooh, I really like this one. It's really funny. Honestly, I like the humor better than the original movie. Like, I think it just suits the stage better. I'm not a huge fan of the songs, though. Like, they're not the most memorable, but it's still a pretty fun show.
I agree. The humor is really on point, and like you said, the gags and stuff work really well in like a stage setting. I'm trying to actually remember some of the songs, but
yeah, like
honestly,
I can't think of any.
Nothing really comes to mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, Spamalot fans.
Sorry, it's been a hot second since I've seen it too.
I'm leaning towards B with this one.
The comedy definitely brings it up, but I mean, musicals have to have good music.
Yep.
Sorry, Spamalot.
So tragic.
Assassins. I haven't seen this one, but you have.
Ooh, yeah. This is one of my favorite Sondheim shows. This one is just so dark and sinister. It's like a very unconventional story for a musical and like structure, but it's really just super good. My A tier seal of approval.
Legally Blonde.
This is one of the better movie to musical adaptations in my opinion.
I agree.
Pretty fun. Every fandom needs a gay or European A and B. It's required. Yeah, I really like this show. I think it's nice and charming. I'm leaning between A and B, like whichever one you think is better for it.
Fun fact, my high school actually did this show for their senior production, and I have really fond memories of it because a lot of my friends were in it. You know what? I think I'll be generous and put it in A just because it's just super fun.
Yeah, definitely. By the standard of like movie to musical adaptations, yeah, it's easily like one of the best.
Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson musical.
This one, I saw with my friends when it came to Philly. Surprisingly good for what it is. Like, it was kind of low budget on stage, and it wasn't the highest brow thing, but I think they did a really good job with it. I've never actually read Percy Jackson, or seen the movies, which is a good thing from what I hear.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, though, even as someone who doesn't know anything about Percy Jackson. Pretty good songs as well.
Wow. Okay, so where would you personally put it?
I'd say B tier, probably.
As someone who has read the books and like seen the god-awful movie, I don't know, I couldn't get into the musical. None of the songs were super catchy for me, and it wasn't horrible by any means, but it just kind of was like, oh, this is a musical that exists.
That's fair.
I would personally put it in C, but you would put it in B, so how should we resolve this?
We must fight to the death over the tier that Percy Jackson musical will be in.
Getting knocked out by Percy Jackson. Never thought it'd end like this.
I'd be be willing to push it down towards C. I'm sorry, Percy Jackson fans, I must do this. I'm sorry, little one. Yeets Percy Jackson musical off cliff. Oh, man. I think everyone agrees it's better than the movie, though.
Logan Lerman carried that film on his back. Hamilton.
I mean, like, I love Hamilton, but I got so burned out from it for like 5 years straight of listening to it nonstop. Haha, nonstop Hamilton reference. I don't know. Quality-wise, I still think it's S tier, but I have no enthusiasm for it anymore.
Slap the S tier and go. All right,
yeah,
get it out of my sight.
Drop it in S tier, and then I never have to think about it again.
Even though I'd say it's not my favorite musical, it definitely changed the game in a lot of ways, and I really respect it. I can definitely see it in S tier.
I'd say so. Like, it's definitely like one of the biggest musical phenomenons in like decades, and I think it does live up to the hype.
From the songs to the choreography, all the little nitty-gritty details, it's truly spectacular.
I just don't want to like think about it or listen to the songs again because I'm so burned out.
Definitely feel that. Black Friday.
Okay, yeah, so this is our first Star Kid show on the list. I don't know, I can't make up my mind about this one. It has good elements, but the story is just so weirdly structured. I don't remember many of the songs. In terms of production values, it's like Star Kid's best show, but I like their other ones better, I think.
It gave off the impression of being like really high budget, but it almost is like biting off more than they could chew.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good way to describe it. Maybe C tier for me.
A Harry Potter musical.
Shout out to Team Star Kid for inventing Harry Potter. Like, good for them. No one else invented him. It's good overall. Not their best work, but I still think it's pretty enjoyable. I'd say like B tier. I like the second one better, but we'll get to that.
This was like the only thing my friends and I listened to in, I think, 7th grade. And I have very fond memories of just gotta get back to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Like, through the halls of middle school.
Yeah, I wish I knew about this musical in middle school, or like Star Kid in general.
They have some good, I don't know if I call them bangers, but it has some really like fun songs in this one as well. Part of me wants to put it in A just for nostalgia's sake, but I do agree that Star Kid has better stuff out there. So I can concur with the B ranking. Matilda, have you seen this one?
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
The opening song is a banger. It's better than C tier, but I wouldn't put it in A tier, so I guess I'll comfortably put it in B tier.
Sounds good.
Footloose.
Not a big fan of Footloose, personally. The story is just kind of, whatever, cliche, generic.
The rebel! The dancing rebel that goes
true.
into town and stirs the pot.
So edgy. It doesn't work for me with story and characters, but you know, it does have banger songs. Obviously, it's got like Holding Out for a Hero, Supreme, best song ever written. I like Somebody's Eyes. I like the title Footloose song. I'm feeling B tier, I guess.
It's interesting because it has the opposite problem of like some of our earlier rankings where the story and other elements were good, but the music maybe wasn't up to par. But this one, the music freaking slaps, but then the story, it's like, But those songs, like, they'll stay with you. So let's put it in B tier.
Yeah, sounds good.
Les Miserables.
Oh, Les Mis. I love this one so much. Oh my god. Everything about Les Mis is just so good. I've loved it since, like, 8th grade when I first saw the movie, which is not good, but I still loved it anyway. Just amazing songs, just amazing characters. I was in Les Mis as well in community theater thing in high school.
Who'd you play?
I was, like, the loud hailer who's, like, yelling at the kids on the barricade, like, you at the barricade, listen to this. I am not a tenor. I don't know why they gave me the role of the loud hailer, because he has very high notes. And I also played the guy who was underneath the cart that Valjean had to help. That was fun too.
Hey!
So good. Huge part of my life. Still holds up, I think. S tier, easy.
People who don't like it, what do you think their reasoning is for not liking it? It's just not exciting enough for them?
I don't know. On paper, it does kind of have a weird structure where it's like halfway through Act 1, suddenly like 7 years later, and you have to readjust to the setting. It's a lot to take in, shifts its focus to different characters over the course of the story. So, I don't know. I guess I can see why people don't like it, but like, I'm just always gonna love Les Mis.
And the fact they were able to condense Victor Hugo's gigantic novel into something that works so well for the stage, it's amazing. S tier for sure.
Like, that shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't be as good as it is, but it just is.
It has freaking barricades!
Barricades! Guns and ships, and so the battle shifts. Might be thinking of the wrong musical.
Your burnouts!
No, I can't go back to Hamilton, no!
Seussical, something my high school also did.
Yeah, I've seen a few productions of Seussical over the years. It's very fun and charming. Pretty fun, catchy music. Probably B for me.
It's a cute little musical that's just not trying to be like anything super substantial. It's a good time. So,
yeah.
B tier sounds good to me. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Ooh, I have never heard of this one.
This is an older one. It actually has Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe in it.
I'm a little behind on watching
Gotcha.
movie musicals from the old days.
I will say, like, a lot of the older stuff some things in there definitely have not aged well, but
Yeah.
a lot of the music is good. And then Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, that song is from this musical. It's just a musical about two girls that have each other's backs, even if they don't like each other's taste in men. But I will put this one in B tier, but that's just me personally. Tick, Tick, Boom. This one you've seen.
Ooh, yeah. So I've only seen the recent movie of it. I haven't seen the original musical. So when I was like compiling this list, I was asking my friend Jess if I should put this on here, and she's like, yeah, it's probably fine. But yeah, no, Tick Tick Boom is really good. Just the story and the songs, just the way it's structured. It's just so compelling to like see Jonathan Larson's thought process and see him like struggle with trying to get a musical off the ground. Would highly recommend the movie. Andrew Garfield just kills it. I don't know, it's hard to say if I'm gonna put it in A or not. Like, maybe very high B for me.
I have not had the chance to watch the movie or look at the old musical yet, but now I have somewhat high expectations. I'm excited to give it a shot. Wicked.
Wicked's something that I, like, go back and forth on. There's a lot of great songs, Defying Gravity and For Good. I like Elphaba's character a lot. But I don't know, I've always thought the story was a little messy with Wicked. It's still good though. Like, I don't know. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about Wicked. You probably have like a more well thought out opinion of it.
I definitely enjoyed Wicked. Killer songs. Kind of liked the nods to Wizard of Oz, although I can see like, yeah, it's not exactly a one-to-one great lineup. The characters are super fun. I really enjoyed Glinda and Elphaba's friendship, sort of like an enemies to friendship. Thinking back, I wasn't super jazzed about some of the story beats that happened, but man, the effects were really freaking cool when I saw it.
Yeah, I can imagine. A really cool spectacle.
Especially like all the Emerald City stuff. That was amazing. I want to put it in A tier.
It's definitely like really influential and important.
I think it was one of the first musicals that hit the mainstream that was like, oh, what if the villain wasn't actually bad at all? What if they're just misunderstood and we're getting their perspective now?
She's not wicked at all. She's just green. Man, I can't wait to rank that later.
Be More Chill.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen this one.
So I don't want to get pitchforks. I wasn't terribly fond of Be More Chill, if I'm being honest.
I've heard it wasn't great. I'm like, should I check this out? My friends are like, no, don't do it.
The premise was kind of funky. I tried listening to the songs a couple times. It didn't grab me. I do like a guy I'd kind of be into. It was cute. I think because I saw a lot of animatics for it. I don't know if I'd put this in D tier. It's C tier, but honestly, I'd kind of put it in lower C tier personally.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sweeney Todd.
Absolute banger show. I feel like I'm calling most of these things bangers, but yeah.
There's really no other word that can encapsulate it.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd is just fantastic. Probably my favorite Sondheim show. Just such great characters. Just Sweeney, Mrs. Lovett. Their dynamic is so good. I could just go on about this show. I would be happy with putting it in S tier personally.
The fact that we're able to turn something so grotesque and that like would turn a lot of people off into such a killer show. I do appreciate the music.
Sondheim's just such a genius. Just amazing.
Frozen the musical.
Woo! I don't know. I haven't personally watched it, but I listened to some of the new songs. I don't like them. I don't like Frozen.
I really don't. It still baffles me how it got that popular.
It does. Like, it's the worst of all of Disney's original musicals they put out recently. Like Tangled, Moana, Encanto. They're all so much better. And then we just have Frozen that made $1 billion somehow.
It's a funny snowman and 2 princesses for the price of one. Oh my god.
Whoa. Oh, wow, we gotta see this 10 times in theaters. But yeah, I probably can't pass judgment on the actual musical because I refuse to watch it. Just, I don't care.
You know what? Part of me was like, I'll be nice and put in C, but this is our ranking, damn it. I'm putting in D tier.
Yes, that is valid. Bye, Frozen.
Twisted.
Ooh, yeah! S tier. I'm just saying it right now. Twisted is the funniest show I've ever seen. I'm invested in the songs. I'm invested in the characters. I think it's better than Wicked and Aladdin. I can't get enough of this. It's Star Kid's best show. This is all your fault, Jafar. Just like, come on, 10 out of 10, comedy gold. But yeah, that's just me.
No, so I listened to this at your request, and I freaking loved it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and it was freaking fantastic.
Like, it has no business being as good as it is.
It's so clever. Never thought I could see Jafar in that light, but you know what? I am down for it. I'm also okay putting it in S tier. It's a parody that really makes you feel.
I could just talk about Twisted for the entire rest of the video, even though I already made a video on it.
Up next is Hunchback of Notre Dame.
So I like this one better than the original movie, actually. It takes out the terrible comic relief, like the gargoyles and their terrible song.
A guy like you.
Yeah,
A guy
I hate
like
that
you.
song so much. But yeah, it like actually does the story in a more adult way. Frollo's a more compelling villain. You see his descent into villainy. I really love Hunchback. Like, it took the best attributes of the Disney movie and just magnified them on stage. A tier, probably.
I think the history of this musical, they had older stuff, but then it kind of evolved into like how we know it now. And they did a really, really good job of implementing the older stuff with the movie. I definitely concur that this is an A-tier musical for sure.
So glad it never made it to Broadway and we got Frozen instead. Hooray!
Curse you, Magic Kingdom.
This is all Perry the Platypus's fault.
Perry the Platypus! You know, I'm surprised they haven't actually done a Phineas and Ferb the musical yet.
Yeah, like, it makes so much sense. It's really popular and it already has songs in it. Come on, Disney. Give the people what they want. Phineas and Ferb musical.
Chicago!
It's so good. Like, so many banger songs. The Cell Block Tango gives me life. Fun characters, just a fun story. I could probably put this in A tier.
Part of me wants to put it in S tier, but I don't think I'm as excited about it as I am with other S tier musicals.
Yeah, same.
I will put it in A tier. The Great Comet.
This is a really good one. I got into it because of Hamilton, because Pippa Sue was in it in the off-Broadway version. So I was like, wow, person from Hamilton in other musical? I gotta see this. I saw it on Broadway as well back in like 2017. Just so good. One of the coolest, most immersive stagings of a Broadway show I've seen. Unconventional. Like, Dave Malloy has a lot of unconventional musicals that are very obscure. This is like the only one that really hit the mainstream. A tier for me, probably.
I unfortunately wasn't able to see any slime productions of it, but I really enjoyed the music when I listened to it. Really cool marriage of traditional Russian sound with rock music. Even the softer stuff. It's really, really cool.
So good.
I am happy putting this in A tier. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this one. It's Cats.
Okay. I don't like Cats. I never liked it when I saw it on stage. The movie was... We're not going to talk about that? I don't know. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a plot, and I don't like the characters that much. I don't care for that many of the songs. Like, it's a cool dance musical, I guess, but there are other dance musicals that have other good attributes to them. I like the magical Mr. Mustafali song. That's it. It's Cats. Oh, Memory is a good song. That one's a banger, obviously. I put it C tier for Cats.
Part of me enjoys it just because it's such a fever dream of a musical, and you're just like, what is happening? I don't know. Part of me is just so bizarrely wowed by it that I want to put it in B, but you know what? I think the fact that the movie exists does knock it down a bit, so I will put it in C tier.
I mean, that's valid, though. Like, bizarrely wowed by it is, like, the perfect way to describe Cats.
It's an experience.
It is. I get the appeal. It just doesn't work for me, personally.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I've never been huge on this one. I don't dislike it, but I don't really care for it that much. It's got cute songs. I was in it in the summer, like right after I graduated high school. I actually played the Pharaoh, which was a bad choice because I couldn't be like an Elvis type character. I don't know why I was cast as the Pharaoh.
They saw your superstar energy, James, and just capitalized on it.
It was not a good casting choice. I still stand by that. But either B or C doesn't matter to me.
Just by the catchiness value alone for some of their songs, I'll stick it in B tier.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the costumes and it was like, whoa, this is almost like a Lazy Town production. But Moulin Rouge.
So I haven't seen this, but I have listened to the version of Your Song, Aaron Tveit and Karen Olivo. I just like that song, so I've listened to that nonstop all year. But that's all I can say about it.
I would like to put it in S tier. I adore this musical so much. The way they twisted around like these songs and the story, the costumes, just it's so good. It's so good. Other than the fact that like it makes me cry every other time I've seen it. It's just S tier. It's such a good show. This one I haven't seen, but you have. It's Bye Bye Birdie.
This is another one of those, like, classic, quote-unquote classic shows. I don't like it, though. I don't think it has anything to offer, really. The story is kind of dumb. The songs aren't memorable. Never care for this one. I think this might be my first D tier, to be honest. I don't know. I don't see the appeal, personally.
Gigi.
Ooh, have not seen this one.
This one has a lot of people torn. I have very mixed feelings towards it. The way women are treated and trained to be courtesans and essentially disposable isn't great, which is literally what Gaston, the male lead, realized realizes, hence why he decides to marry Gigi instead of keeping her as a mistress. But there are a lot of other aspects of the musical that kind of make me uncomfortable, even though I do enjoy the songs, most of them anyway. I guess I'll stick it in C tier, because I don't really know what else to do with it. It has me very befuddled for its placement, honestly. Meet Me in St. Louis.
Ooh, yeah. This is another classic I haven't actually gotten to see yet.
While this one is not my favorite old movie musical, it's great for the holidays. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas came from this musical. I'm always so enamored by how Judy Garland sings it. The littlest sister Tootie is hilarious as well. She's always going off about her doll graveyards. The costumes are lovely, and the trolley song always ends up in my head after I watch it. Guess I'll stick it in B tier. I'm torn between B and C, but I'm feeling nostalgic, so B tier. Dear Evan Hansen.
I was dreading this. I liked Dear Evan Hansen. I really liked it at the time. I thought it was better than Great Comet, which, like, what was I on? Like, are you kidding? Yeah, no, it's not better than Great Comet, though. It's got good songs, and then it's got the glove song, which no one likes. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of discourse with the story. I think Evan just starts out innocent, gets caught up in the lie, becomes kind of a selfish asshole, and then gets taken down a peg. Like, I think it's fine morally, because they seem to know Evan's not the best person. I'm putting the movie aside because that. I don't know, I think it has problems, definitely. Some uncomfortable stuff, but I'd still put it in, like, B tier. It used to be like an S tier show for me, and it's like, no.
Damn. I remember listening to this when it was super hyped, and I liked a couple of the songs, like Sincerely Me is super fun. Probably my favorite song out of the whole show, honestly. It kind of got caught up in its own message, and I don't think, like, it really stuck the landing for the whole mental health awareness bit they were trying to do. I don't think I could put it higher than C tier, personally.
That's totally valid. Like, I would be willing to bump it down to C tier.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, okay, so, real quick. 9th grade, we did Hairspray in my school. It was the hypest thing ever. We were all coming off of it, a huge high. It was such a fun show. And then it gets announced the next year, we're doing Oklahoma. And we were just like, oh. Half the people from Hairspray didn't come back for it. It was just miserable. I don't love Oklahoma. I don't even know if I like it. It's not terrible, but I can't say I'm a fan. I've heard the revival is really good, but I don't know. I don't like Curly as a protagonist. He's very manipulative and just creepy. I don't like most of the characters or the songs, really. There's a few classics in there, but it's like a C tier for me, I think.
Oklahoma is just okay.
It's okay.
Curly as the protag. I remember my AP US history teacher was like, what if the protagonist was a villain, essentially? It's not, you don't leave with the best feeling after you see it. 6.
I haven't seen this, but I've listened to the songs. Don't Lose Your Head is a bop. I like it, but I can't really judge where I'd put it.
It's definitely a really enjoyable musical. The songs, they're very, very poppy, and they're very catchy, and it makes you want to dance. I will say, it didn't feel like much of a musical and more of like a pop sort of concert, which I think was the intent, but
yeah, that makes sense.
I did enjoy like the kind of the premise of it. I wouldn't necessarily call it a favorite, so I would stick it in B tier personally. Anastasia.
Haven't seen this either. The movie's good though, I saw that.
Part of me is like, why did they turn it into a musical? The movie was fine. It just feels like so much of the magic that made the animated movie so great and enchanting is absent from the musical. The medium is what really brought the story to its fullest potential, and the fact that it was a romantic drama alongside a supernatural warlock quest for revenge is so hilarious because it works so well, strangely enough, and the musical lacks that bizarre but in an amazing way factor. The songs are still there, but it's not really the same. The new songs were okay, but nothing is ever going to beat seeing that scene in the animation where the ghosts of the past fly out of the paintings in a poof of dust and magic as Anya is reaching for her faded memories. It's unforgettable. Once Upon December, I can't do that song dirty. Guess I'll stick it in B. Shrek the Musical.
Oh, right. I've been waiting for another D tier. Yeah, no, I hate Shrek the Musical so much. It has, like, 2 good songs, I think. Lord Farquaad is kind of funny. That's about it. It butchers Shrek so badly. D tier. I also have a video on this, everyone watching, if you want to check that out.
I will link that here. Just who had the ideas like, hey, everyone loves Shrek. You know what we could do? Turn it into a musical, baby!
Yep, should have made Shark Tale the musical, SMH.
Oh, God. Why can I see that working so well for some god-awful reason?
That would be hilarious if they made Shark Tale the musical and it was actually good somehow.
It's
I would
like,
be the first person in line to see that.
It'd be like Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, yeah, wait. The plot is so similar to Dear Evan Hansen already, so there you go.
Just add in a shark mafia.
Dear Evan Hansen would be so much better with a shark mafia. Like, everything would.
Just Frozen the musical, throw in a shark mafia. Mafia.
Yeah,
Bada bing, bada
there you
boom.
go. I like it then.
Okay, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice like surprised me. Like I got tickets to see it. I wasn't that interested, but it was really good. Like it's just such a fun show. Great characters, pretty good songs. A might be too high for me, maybe high B. But yeah, I love Beetlejuice.
B for Beetlejuice. What I know now is a bop, crazy costume change. It's awesome. I really gotta listen to this one again when I have the chance, but it's a cool spooky take on a cool spooky musical. No complaints here. Fiddler on the Roof.
So this is one of the few like classic musicals that I actually think deserves its status and recognition. Like I really like Fiddler. It's got a lot of memorable songs like Tradition to Life, If I Were a Rich Man. Like they just keep coming. I think the story's really compelling and just makes you feel by the second act. Great characters. I don't know. I'd say A tier for this one probably.
Again, so much has come out of this show and it's such a classic. I really enjoyed the message behind it and like blanking on the dad's name, but the journey he goes through, his faith being tested and his daughters. I really enjoyed it. Mamma Mia!
I've only seen the movie. Like Wicked, I don't think I'm qualified to judge this. I love ABBA songs though, so like the songs all work for me. But yeah, I don't know. I will refrain from giving this one a ranking.
I feel like Mamma Mia's kind of like had a resurgence in the last year or two, especially with ABBA's new albums coming out and people like, oh, I'm gonna revisit all their old stuff too.
Yeah.
It's just such a jammable musical. Like this is the one like you will dance in your seat for. I think the premise is funny. The different dads, like they're all like such characters. Part of me would really like to put it in A for ABBA. God, because this is a musical that I will watch and re-listen to like over and over and over again. So I think if you're cool with it, I will put it in A.
I mean, I love ABBA anyway, so like that's totally valid.
Phantom of the Opera.
Okay. Alright, so this is my biggest musical theater hot take, but I really don't like Phantom of the Opera. I just think it's boring. I don't like the character of the Phantom. A lot of the songs just aren't that great to me. Like, it has amazing songs here and there. I don't care for the characters or anything really outside of some songs and the spectacle when you see it on stage. That's just my completely biased opinion. Like, I want to hear what you think of it first.
Damn, that is definitely a hot take. I mean, I think Phantom was one of the very first musicals I saw. I am fond of the music. I still would really love to see the Broadway production of it someday. I do get why people would think it's boring. The Phantom, he's a complicated character. And like the whole thing of like, oh, this man is the ghost of my father. Oh wait, it's this creep who's trying to get me to marry him? What?
What's going on? I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, honestly, I'm so far in the minority on this one that you can rank it like anywhere you want. I'll be perfectly fine with that.
I am like thinking how my feelings of it have changed over the years because it used to be like S tier for me, like easy. As I've kind of grown and heard other stuff and like revisited Phantom, I think I might knock it down a peg for now. But I don't know. It's so tricky. I might end up tweaking this later, but for now, I'll stick it in A.
I think A is valid because it is very influential and has so many great technical stuff.
Keep your hand at the level of your eyes.
Indeed. See, I don't even know that reference because I just forgot most of Phantom. Yeah.
That spectacle of seeing that chandelier rise.
Yeah, it was really cool though.
The guy who didn't like musicals.
So this one's weird because like everyone raves about this one. This is another one where I'm like, yeah, it's good. I don't know if it's one of Star Kid's best overall. It tries to have dramatic parts that are like fine, but they're not like amazing. The story is just kind of slow, but it does have a lot of very memorable moments, funny moments as well. Like, I'd say B probably.
Paradise Square.
Ooh, yeah, so I'm like ahead of the game on this one. I actually saw the preview in Chicago, and this is a really good musical. I'm excited for it to come to Broadway and for more people to start seeing it and for it to get like Tony buzz. Really great songs. I've already been listening to a few of them. I don't know about A tier, like parts of the story, like there's a lot of different plot points and they don't all get resolved or come together coherently by the end. Solid high B tier.
I'm excited. Hello, Dolly.
Ooh, yeah, have not seen this one.
The songs Wally likes on the VHS tape when he plays on his little TV, that's from Hello, Dolly. I don't know, the story wasn't like super compelling for me, but the songs I really, really enjoyed. I can't think of another word except for like cutesy. Barbra Streisand, of course, delivers as Dolly. I guess I'll put it in B tier. Aida.
Oh, Aida. I was also in this in high school. I played the Pharaoh. It's a very like dramatic, beautiful love story. It's got some cliche aspects of it. Could have had a better balance of humor and drama. The humor they attempt is a little awkward. Some good songs, some phenomenal songs. I'm surprised no one talks about this one because it's really good. A is tempting because it starts with A. That's how I rank things now. B sounds good. Like, it has its flaws, but overall, yeah, I like it.
I haven't actually seen this one, so...
There's probably plenty of slime tutorials out there.
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods is so good. This is one where I'm not gonna hold the movie against it because it's like whatever. It wasn't atrocious like Cats and Dear Evan Hansen. So, but that said, the movie is not the best way to watch this. That's how I first saw it, and I didn't get why Into the Woods was such a good show for the longest time. Again, just Sondheim knocks it out of the park. I'm not like as head over heels in love with it as like a ton of other people, so I'd say probably just A tier for me, but like still fantastic.
For sure. I really enjoy this musical. I think my first exposure to it was seeing my middle school production of it, and I was like, whoa, this concept is so cool. Did they make this up? And I was like, wait, it's an actual musical? An exemplary case of Act 1 ending happily and Act 2 being like, oh god, no. Heathers.
Okay, I love Heathers. This is my favorite movie to musical adaptation. Like, it's just, it shouldn't be this good. The songs are bops. I think it does the story better. Like, I'm more emotionally invested in it than I was in the actual movie. It's so quotable. Yeah, again, S seems a bit too high. Like, maybe A tier. But yeah,
Yes.
one of my favorites, though.
Is there a song that begins with A from that musical?
If there's no song that begins with A, then we can't put it in A tier. That's the law.
No! Heathers,
no.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think, no, there isn't one. It's illegal. Oh well. I'll still do it anyway. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, Heathers is freaking amazing. It's black comedy at its finest, in my opinion. A killer musical, honestly. What's your favorite song from Heathers, you'd say?
That's a tough one. I think I like Meant to Be Yours the best. It's just such a good villain song.
Lots of great animatics for all the songs. I think that's what really pulled in a lot of people, honestly. Wizard of Oz.
Technically, I saw this one back in the day. I have seen the movie, if that counts. Stunning that it was able to be made, like, in the late 1930s, and it looks as good as it does.
Even if the behind the scenes were a nightmare.
Yeah, I heard about that. Don't know where I'd rank it as a musical, personally, since I haven't seen the stage version, but, I mean, it's a classic for a reason.
I think I'd stick it in B tier. Somewhere Over the Rainbow is iconic, of course. Other than that, there's not a ton of other songs that stick.
I'm more so in it for just the characters and the journey they go on.
Lion King.
I have a slight hot take with Lion King. I mean, obviously the movie's 10 out of 10 masterpiece classic, but I don't know if the stage adaptation's like the best. Like, visually it's just phenomenal. Like, they just did so many great creative things with how it looks on stage, but I don't know, story and character wise it's just kind of bloated and not quite as impactful as the original, and I don't care for many of the new songs, but it's definitely cool to see on stage if you've never seen it before, just for the spectacle alone. I might say B.
You're so wowed by everything that's happening, you're like, wait, what's actually happening though? B for Be Prepared. How to succeed in business without really trying.
This is a funny show. Like, it's got some good jokes, some good songs. It's extremely sexist, though. It's like, it was written in the 60s, and it's just very uncomfortable.
It's hard with a lot of the older musicals.
I don't know. It's rough. Guess I'll drop it in C for now. Like, a lot of it doesn't hold up. But it has so many good elements. Like, it's such a shame.
I really enjoyed Daniel Radcliffe's performance. I think he did a really good job, but I am A-okay putting it in C tier as well.
Definitely.
Aladdin.
Well, this is not as good as Twisted. That's kind of a given. I don't know. It's got the same sort of thing as Lion King, I guess, where it's like the stuff they added wasn't amazing. Like, I like Proud of Your Boy. Like, that's a nice song. It was like written for the original, so it like fits right in. I think a lot of material was actually written for the movie and then added to the musical. B seems good.
What's the song from there that begins with B?
Oh yeah, we gotta think. Oh man, Friend Like B. Oh no, we gotta go back and do this for every musical we've ranked.
God damn it, no! Little Mermaid.
Oh, Little Mermaid.
I enjoyed the costumes and special effects. I think more so than Aladdin.
Yeah,
But
it was impressive the way they brought, like, underwater world to life on stage, definitely.
yeah, just B tier.
Under the B.
Under the B. Avenue Q.
This is another one that, like, some of it just doesn't hold up, I don't think. I was never that impressed by, like, the songs or the characters. The puppet gimmick is kind of cute, but this one might be a C for me.
Really?
Like, I'm shocked that it took, like, Best Musical, Best Score, and Best Book over Wicked. Like, how did that happen?
What? I didn't know that.
man, that's wild.
Jeez. Just imagining the crew crew from Wicked just like vibrating in their seats in anger. I haven't seen this one since probably like the beginning of high school, so I'm maybe not the best judge for this one at the moment. I'd be okay putting it in C tier. Ooh, speaking of puppets, A Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, love Little Shop. It's another one where it just shouldn't be as good as it is. So many great songs. Like, just this was Alan Menken and Howard Ashman's start before they did all the Disney movies. Like, oh my god. Puppet effects with Audrey 2 were so cool. Just Seymour and Audrey, Suddenly Seymour, Feed Me. I'd be okay with putting this one in S tier, honestly. Like, this one just holds up tremendously well, and it's just so entertaining from beginning to end.
As for Seymour, let's do it. It's such a blast. I love practical effects, and it's sad that like we don't see a lot of them anymore, but
Yeah.
man,
Same.
Cinderella. This is the Rodgers and Hammerstein's version.
This is one of my least favorite shows that I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no!
To be honest, I just derived no enjoyment from watching this. It was like a high school performance, but it wasn't just like the performances and the direction, like the songs, the story, the characters. Like, it's as generic a Cinderella retelling as you can possibly get. I'm not a big fan of Rodgers and Hammerstein in general, to be honest, and this might be their worst one. I'm sorry. I must put this in D tier.
God.
Ooh.
Oh no! Oh, I think this is like the most polarized we've been on a musical so far. This is honestly one of my favorites.
Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that is so
man.
funny. I grew up watching the Brandy version with like Whitney Houston, and I loved that. I really enjoyed the Julie Andrews one as well. Yeah, it's definitely like another Cinderella retelling, but there's this sweetness that comes out of Rodgers and Hammerstein's music that really captures Cinderella's innocence and hope very well. You're able to connect with her more than other versions and really get inside her head. I personally would stick it in A tier, but
we could like put it in the middle and like put it in like B tier. If that works for you.
Okay.
Perfect middle ground.
The Prince is having a ball, B tier.
Yeah.
Bloody Andrew Jackson.
This show is great, and like nobody talks about it. It's such a shame. Like, it's got so many great songs. They're all pretty short, but they're just bangers. It's like a less softened retelling of history than Hamilton. It actually like calls out historical figures of different time periods. I listen to the songs all the time. It could go A or B for me because it has Bloody and it has Andrew. So there you go. That's the only criteria. I think I could lean more towards A with this one.
Andrew Jackson, honestly.
Exactly. That's the conclusion the musical comes to, so yeah.
South Pacific, another Rodgers and Hammerstein.
It's hard to remember. It's been a while with this one. I'm struggling to think of anything to say about it. Like, it's fine. Maybe C tier for me.
You Have to Be Carefully Taught is an excellent song, and I'm still absolutely baffled that South Pacific was banned from playing in certain places because of it. That's kind of the big takeaway with the musical, buddy, huh? It's been a while since I've seen it, but I think I could stick it in C tier. I liked it, but it's not what I'm gonna be like writing home about. Barely a pop opera.
Oh, Bear pop opera.
A bear pop opera.
So this is my current musical that I'm obsessed with at the moment, and it's just really good. And it's again one that no one talks about for some reason. It's got like so many great songs in it, just so much compelling drama. It's like the story's kind of cliche. It's similar to Romeo and Juliet, and they actually put on a play production of Romeo and Juliet in the story, so like they're aware. It's got like some cliche plot beats and character stuff, but it's just such a beautiful, just heartbreaking story. I've been listening to it all the time. I would highly recommend it. A tier is probably fair for this one.
Bear A pop opera?
Fair A tier pop opera.
Holy musical Batman.
Holy musical Batman. Once again, hot take. This is not one of my favorites. I don't think the songs are the most memorable in this by Star Kid standards, and I don't think it's that funny. And I don't care for the story, but it's got its moments. C, maybe.
Another one by Star Kid that I maybe saw like once with some friends and then kind of forgot about, so I am okay with putting it in C tier. Mean Girls. I'm not fond of this one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've listened to the songs in this one. Not a fan. Can't really judge because I haven't seen it.
The songs were really just not good, with the exception of maybe the Halloween song, Sexy. One of my favorite lines from the Halloween song is... It's delivered so well. What's her face, Karen?
Heather.
The dumb Heather.
Yes.
Part of me was like, Heather's is already like a musical. Why did you want to make Mean Girls a musical on top of that?
Because money. It always just seemed like worse Heathers from what I listened to.
My name is Karen. My hair is shiny.
Shiny!
It all comes back. I'm putting this one in D tier.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fair. I'd probably put it in D tier too if I saw it.
Grease.
It's got some classic songs to be sure, but the message is just not good. It's just like change who you are so you can fit in with other people. No. I don't know. C, maybe.
It's so bizarre because it has so many great songs, but the whole story's just like, oh god. And it's funny how it became such a phenomenon despite that.
Like, I don't get it. There's so many better shows that like high schools can do than Grease.
C for...
Come on, people. Stop watching this musical.
Beauty and the Beast.
Probably my favorite of the Disney movie to musical adaptations. Oh, besides Hunchback, because Hunchback's just way better than all of them. It does lose a bit of the magic of the original. Like, the original Beauty and the Beast is just so perfect, but this one, like, maybe they add a bit too much fluff on it. It's nice to give the Beast, like, actual songs to sing, though, and Gaston has, like, a few good new numbers. I don't know, maybe high B for me.
SpongeBob the Musical.
Oh, yeah, SpongeBob! I'm just really excited that this one is so good. Just the fact that it exists and is this good. Another one I've done a video on. It's not, like, amazing, but it's just so entertaining. They do the characters so right. The songs are really good.
And the Plankton rap, that's just, come on, it's so good.
Yeah, another high B for me, I'd say.
B for Bob. And Bikini Bottom, King and I.
Probably my favorite Rodgers and Hammer. Well, no, there's one I like better. But yeah, this one's actually pretty good, I think. It's got like a strong story. Decent songs, torn between like B and C, not sure.
I do really enjoy this one, so I would be more keen on putting in B. I don't know if you saw the old animated version of the musical.
Oh, no, I
I
haven't.
think that was my first exposure to this, and I was like, wow, it's so nice. And then I watched the actual musical, like, oh, this is so sad.
Oh.
Hairspray.
Hairspray. We did this, like I said, in my freshman year. We all loved it. We all had a great time. I played Mr. Spritzer. He's like the president of the Hairspray company. I mean, just such a fun show. You Can't Stop the Beat is just an electric, just super enjoyable final number. Without Love, a bop. So many good ones. Maybe A. Like, it's just so fun. It's got such an infectious energy.
I played Velma Von Tussle in our production of it, and it was very fun doing Miss Baltimore Crabs.
Yeah.
Hairspray gets an A. Good morning, Baltimore.
I forget the words.
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls is another really fun one. Been a while since I've seen this one as well. Like, my college did a production of it and I saw that. Very fun characters, just a good vibe to it. It's like Grease but good. B tier, I think, like high B.
I think my middle school also did something for this. B as well for me. A Very Potter senior year.
Oh, so we're skipping 2 going straight to 3. This one just didn't hit me like the other 2 personally. I feel like at this point the Potter thing was getting kind of played out. Maybe it's because the production like was staged differently because they were just doing a reading. Like, maybe it would have been better if they did a full performance of it. I don't know. This one's the least memorable to me. I wish they had done something more creative with Hagrid, because I love the buildup of him never showing up in the first 2. And then he shows up in this finally, and then it's just kind of whatever. Nothing comes of it. I almost wish they would have just stopped at 2. I don't know. I guess C for me.
Everything Ends definitely makes you feel a bit melancholic. Like, yep, this is the very last Very Potter musical we're gonna get. That's it. All good things gotta come to an end.
I got a little emotional with that part.
Sound of Music.
Another hot take, but this time in the opposite direction, because I know a ton of people hate this one. I actually really like Sound of Music. Like, I think it's just a beautiful story. I like the songs. I think they're very pretty. I just like Maria's plight. How do you solve a problem like Maria? I don't know. I don't know if it's enough for me to say A tier, but like, probably say B. Like, it's definitely my favorite Rodgers and Hammerstein show.
I actually was tempted to put it in S tier.
Ooh.
And it's not just because it begins with an S. Yes, it's schmaltzy and sappy, but the songs are just pure serotonin. Favorite Things, Confidence, Edelweiss. Of course, the titular song that makes you want to run around the Austrian mountains and yell at the top of your lungs while you're swinging around a guitar case. I love Maria's relationships with the Von Trapp children, and the movie is so comforting whenever you need a bit of sunshine in your life. It's so, I don't know if quaint is the right word, but it's so charming.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm surprised that, like, a lot of people don't like it. Will we, like, meet in the middle and put it in, like, A tier?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
A for
Do-re.
A Problem Like Maria.
There we go.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nailed it.
Curtains.
So it's been a while since I've seen Curtains. It had a funny protagonist. I remember that. It was like a murder mystery. So the main character is funny. Cannot remember a single song for the life of me. Maybe C, because Curtains. I don't know.
Hadestown.
Favorite musical. Oh my god. I love Hadestown so much. Cannot get enough of this one. I think I've said everything I needed to say in a video I made last year about it. I saw it on Broadway 2 years back. It was the coolest experience ever. Just I love this musical so much. It's just such a strong story, such great songs. The staging, just the lighting, everything about Hadestown is just phenomenal. Easy S tier.
Kind of honestly was life-changing. It's so good. It's so good. It's heartbreaking. It's dramatic.
You just feel every emotion watching it.
Book of Mormon.
This is definitely a fun one. Weirdly enough, I think Star Kids shows are generally funnier than this one. Like, this one's considered like one of the funniest Broadway shows ever, but I think Star Kid kind of has the beat. But that said, this one definitely has a lot much better songs. Like, Man Up is one of my favorite Act 1 finales, to be honest. Spooky Mormon Hell Dream.
Turn It Off.
Yeah, You and Me, but mostly Me, Turn It Off. Ah, man. The All-American Prophet. Just, I could go on with the songs. They're so funny. Leaning between A and B, either works for me, I think.
It's funny because I know a lot of Mormon people, and they all have like very mixed feelings about this musical.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I think I'm leaning a little more towards B for Book of Mormon.
So good at alphabetizing these musicals.
Annie.
Oh, wait, which Annie? There's 2.
Oh, I mean, I know there's Annie Get Your Gun. Are there 3 Annies?
Oh, wow. How did we go so
Damn.
long without getting any of the Annies? That's wild.
They're all just stuck at the bottom. I'm thinking of Annie the Orphan.
I was also in this one. I played Drake the butler in 8th grade. That was a fun role.
Nice.
Annie's got its charms. Like, it's kind of cutesy and kind of light and fluffy. It's a charming little story. Got some memorable songs. I don't know. Maybe torn between B and C personally. Like, I definitely don't love it, but I don't dislike it.
We do get It's a Hard Knock Life from it. I'll stick it in B.
That's valid. Easy Street is a really fun villain song, too.
21 Chump Street.
This one's a little hard to rank because it's only like a 15-minute musical. But for what it is, it's pretty enjoyable. It's got like 4 songs in it, but they're kind of bops. Yeah. B seems good.
I'm baffled that it was actually based on a true story. Rent.
Oh. Okay. Rent is something that I loved when I was in high school, and then the years went on. It just kept going down for me. I just don't like Rent anymore. It just, the characters are just such terrible people. And it's like, oh man, I used to root for these people. Like, Mark especially is just such an asshole. I don't like watching these people anymore. Angel sings a song about murdering a dog. Like, what? The thing with Rent is it's got really great music, so that's kind of the one thing that keeps it afloat. Otherwise, I'd be happy putting it in like D tier, but I think I'd put it in C.
I was never really too fond of Rent, especially after having to do the 525,600 minutes thing over and over and over again. So
yeah.
I'm perfectly content putting it in C. Waitress.
I've not seen this one.
It was pretty hyped, along with like the Dear Evan Hansen, Be More Chill crew, and I did enjoy it. This one I would call like very quaint. Very simple story, and the songs were cute. I think like B tier is the best place I could stick it. This one was based on a movie. The songs were done by Sarah Bareilles? She did a good job with it.
Strikes me as like pretty different from most movie musical adaptations where they're mostly just done for like money. This one feels more like they just thought it would be a good fit for the musical theater medium. And so that's what I like. That's like the best kind of movie musical adaptations.
Yeah, it's almost like a passion project.
Yeah.
A Harry Potter sequel.
Ooh, alright. This is the banger in my opinion. This is the best one. It's just got so many funny parts. Hermione can't draw. Like that whole scene, I was dying. Lupin's like just a great character. Lucius Malfoy, the way he prances around. Everything about this one's just such a step up. And even like the songs, like I think are a little bit better. Honestly, I go with A tier for this one.
A for a Harry Potter sequel. The Producers.
Ooh, The Producers. Another super funny one. I don't remember too many of the songs with this one, surprisingly. I know this one like went wild at the Tonys. It's won like the most awards out of anything, like even more than Hamilton. I feel like that's only because like it's a show about producing a Broadway show, so that's probably why the Tony people like loved it so much.
Oh my god, it's so meta.
So relatable. Very fun show though. The songs are more memorable. I might bump it up, but I'd say like probably B for me.
Honestly, I would put this in A,
Ooh,
but
yeah. I'd be down to
if you're going to bump it up.
A.
In the Heights.
In the Heights. Another really great show. Not as good as Hamilton, obviously, but like still just really enjoyable. Great songs, really great characters. The movie kind of cut some of the best character moments, which is tragic, but otherwise it was a really good movie. Probably another high B for me. Just a very fun show.
I'll never forget seeing a review of the movie. This is an Old Navy commercial with jump scares by Lin-Manuel Miranda. The second to last one is Oliver.
Okay, this is the one. This is my least favorite musical ever. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't like anything in Oliver. It's just such a weird thing. Like, the story's not even about Oliver. It's just focused on other characters around him. None of the songs are memorable to me. Most of them kind of annoy me.
Glorious food.
And I don't understand its appeal and why people like it and hold it up as a classic musical. I don't have anything that I like in that. I'm honestly going to give Oliver the F tier, to be honest.
I'm very tickled by that, so I will keep it in F tier.
I'm sure there's technically worse musicals out there, but I really hate Oliver. I'm sorry, society. All you Oliver lovers out there.
I think my first exposure to it was from Ice Age 2, when they sang a snippet of the song. The last musical on our list is Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah! Woohoo, boy, I love this one. Probably my second favorite after Hadestown. I cannot get enough of Jesus Christ Superstar. It's just so compelling. Just the music is so great. It just feels as dramatic and impactful as it should. It's just so good in every way. Like, there's not a single song I dislike in this show. It's just amazing from beginning to end. Easy S for me.
It screams 70s so much, and I'm living for it. S for 70s Superstar. Good job, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
This is like the one musical of his that I really like. The rest of them I'm either indifferent or I don't like, but this is the one. This is his magnum opus.
I think it's super accessible for other people as well, who maybe like aren't super into the musical format.
Yeah, definitely.
That is our huge ass ranking. Holy crap. Yeah, most of these are in B. We do have a handful of S's and like a good amount of A's. A little bit of D's in there, and then one in F.
Oliver.
Thanks for giving your input for the rankings, James. I'm glad you had fun.
Yep, thanks so much for having me. This was a ton of fun.
Anything you would like to plug?
I made some videos about musicals you should check out, like Hadestown, Shrek, SpongeBob, that sort of stuff. So yeah, check those out. That's about it. Thanks for watching.
If you agree with any of our rankings, then let us know, or if you strongly disagree, then what's your reasoning?
If you strongly disagree, keep it to yourself. This is objective fact. It cannot be argued.
This is gospel. It's official.
This is all canon.
This is canon!